Okay, so the next step now that we have the scanner out is to plug it into the computer. I already downloaded the Repair Solutions 2, and that you can get right on the Innova.com site. This is under popular content right here, and it would be under Windows for me, and you have it for Macs as well. So if you go there, you can download the app, which I already have installed right here. And depending on your machine, it may need other files that you need to download, but I already did all that when I was testing it with my previous scanner. So as soon as I plug this in, it should detect it. Let's see, get this right. There we go. It lights up. It says follow the instructions on your PC. And it just takes a moment, and look at that. Let me zoom in here a little more, and back it up just a bit. So it tells you what the firmware is, the database, and there we go. And it tells me there are updates available. So these firmware database bootloader is the same you see on the screen when I showed you before when you turn it on. So let's go ahead and update it. Update tool now. Let's see how long it takes. Shouldn't take too long, but nothing is going to show up on the tool. It just says follow the instructions. So we're going to leave that alone and let it do its thing. But this is where updating through Wi-Fi, it's a lot quicker than having to come in through say a computer program and updating it. Not a huge deal, but this is just the way these are done. So that's the first thing we obviously want to do before we use it, before I start using it on any card, just because it'll give me the latest information or files regarding whatever card I'm working on. And this is what you definitely want on any scanner. You want to have the latest update, whether it's a basic scanner or not. You know, if you're able to get a later update, it'll just cover the newer cars, for example. So you'll have that. Uh, you know, the worst thing is going into a car, putting a scanner, and not having it supported, or that car doesn't show you all the functions. Please do not disconnect the tool, close the software, or turn computer off when while updating firmware. So you download it, now it's just updating it. As you can see. So it's doing it fairly quick. Uh, you do have to remember I do have a fairly newer computer, so that also helps. If you have an older one and if your line is pretty slow, I don't have anything crazy fast, but it's working pretty well. So, just to give you an idea how long this actually takes. So we're just going to let it do its thing. It says updating database, and we'll see what happens. Okay, keeps connecting, disconnecting. USB drive, okay. So I'm just letting it go. I'm not doing anything. It says, please do not disconnect the tool. Close the software, turn your computer off while updating. So, excuse me. So you're not supposed to do anything. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Still says updating database, so I'm not gonna touch it. And it is. That is going a little slower, as you can see. So you just let it go and do its thing. Um, because the scanner is not extremely large like your dedicated tablets, I don't expect this to take too long. But there are a lot of cars, newer cars and things like that. So who knows? It may actually go a little longer than I think it will. So because it's going a little slower, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and then I'll come back so we're not just looking at a bar going here. So hang on there. Okay, so this part looks like it's gonna be a little bit slower than normal, which is fine. Just let it be. So while it's doing that, I wanted to mention one other thing. On this scanner, or any scanner, I definitely would like to see a printed manual. The reason for that is because it's a lot quicker to just open the manual and look up something. I know a lot of everything of the information nowadays is just what do you call it, electronic and PDF or whatever, which is fine. But if you have to print the manual every time, you're gonna get pretty much book size page versus something more manageable. Which is, another thing, not a big deal, just a little nitpicking on that end, just because I do prefer to look at a manual when I need to look at something like that too. Um, and that's just a preference, I think. So let me get back to this, and we'll be right back. Okay, as far as the updates, well, that is doggone slow. So if you need the scanner right away, don't update it. Update it when you have time to just let it sit like this and let the updates go, because this is going to take a little longer than I thought. I mean, it's barely at 10%, but you got to remember this scanner, it's a lot smaller than your other scanners that have more space, obviously. So rewriting the chip or whatever it's doing, it's going to take a little longer. Not to mention the cable, it's an older connection. So I think that's something they're gonna have to work on as far as the connections on these. I mean, come on. Okay, we got something aside from my screen also going off. So it looks like it's moving a little faster now. Yeah, that or I just hit something. Nah, it looks okay. I was just trying to wake it up, so there was no cancel or anything, which is good. So it's still going, but that's what it's doing. It's going a little faster. Just seems to be blinking a lot in a weird way, and I mean not in a good way. But well, that's what it is. So let's just let it go, and I'm just glad I came back on the video so you can actually see what's going on. So at the beginning, it seems kind of slow for whatever it's doing. Now it's downloading files, so that's going a lot faster, which is good. See what happens next. Updating firmware. Disconnected. Connected again. Okay. Update error. Please disconnect the tool and try again. You gotta be kidding me. No, I don't want to disconnect. Oh, come on. I'm just gonna let it go and see what it does. Disconnect it. Disconnect it. Update my tool. 2201. I didn't touch anything. It's doing it by itself, I think. Okay, what's going on here? 2200.1. USB drive D. Is he gonna find it? Is he gonna find it? I don't know. Is that done? Because it gave me an error, so I don't know. It looks like it is. It's 22001. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. It's connected. So we're going to disconnect it from the computer. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we'll disconnect it. Let me go back. Oh, wrong way. not the kitchen, but the tool. That's what we want. So let me unplug that. Let's turn it on. Let's see what we got. Okay, 2019. It's all the same. So I don't know if there was an actual update, even though it said there were updates. So let's go to the firmware version. So firmware 22001 says 2019 on it. So that looks like the same. Tool ID. Let me see if I can show you that. There we go. So I don't know if there was an actual update or not. I mean, you saw what it did, so we'll go ahead and plug it on a card next time and see where we go from there. I think the error was because it was already finished. It's my guess. I don't know. But there you go. That's the update on the Innova 5610.